Double leg while we're teaching it wrong, part 3, the full body entry. Can you tell the difference between these two sprint drills? Or between these two weightlifting exercises? If you're not trained to notice it, it might be hard. Each drill targets something different. Same goes for MMA. To improve each part of a movement, you need the right tool for the job. That's exactly why I created this new variation, a drill that we now call the MMA walk.
Train different, train unique, train MMA forms.
It's based on the classic wrestler's walk, but redesigned for MMA, with extra focus on hip drive, posture, and close range safety. We've already added the chin tuck and the cross arm shield. Now it's time for the next layer. When you shoot, we need to attach fully to the opponent, not just with the chest, but with the hips too. And this is where beginners often struggle. The hips lag behind, and that weakens your position. Wrestling drills are great for building strength and rhythm, but are they enough? Can we design a drill that really emphasizes the hip drive? Yes, and that's exactly what I did with Form 1 of MMA forms. When we perform the MMA walk, we firmly drive the lead knee into the mat, a deliberate action that reinforces the idea that we're not just attaching, we're impacting the opponent. It also gives us a moment to check our alignment and hip extension, which should go beyond 180 degrees if possible. With that kind of commitment, finishing the takedown becomes easier. Now compare it to the hip extension in a classic wrestler's walk, right as the knee hits the mat. Here are two types of entries. The first, no impact, no control. The second, full body contact, MMA walk style. It drives them back and breaks their balance from the very first touch. At the same time, we practice pulling with the arms as we extend the hips, creating a torque. You might notice that in this drill, the arms don't fully extend towards the opponent. So, isn't that wrong? Not quite. In freestyle wrestling, athletes often reach long for the legs first. They recover the base by pulling their feet underneath them. That happens because of the low stance, but in MMA, where the guard is higher, I recommend doing both at once, locking the grip while driving your chest into the opponent's thigh. You do see this kind of coordination in wrestling sometimes, but here we make it systematic. Remember, some of the worst chaos in MMA happen when fighters overextended their arms trying to grab legs from too far out. Chimaev might get away with it, but beginners not so much. So training shorter entries builds better habits and safety.
MMA equals kickboxing plus wrestling plus jiu-jitsu? MMA equals MMA. MMA forms. Math on the mat.
Now watch the rear leg. We bring it forward lightly, placing the sole of the foot down to regain balance. This gives us a strong base with 3 points of contact. The front knee and the instep of the front foot on one side and the rear foot on the other, forming a stable tripod base. Then there is the stomp. Stepping forward once again with the rear leg and driving it into the mat builds both awareness and power. And that rear leg needs to push with intention. The step with the rear leg should come around to the side, not directly underneath us. Why? Because if you get stuck underneath your opponent, you will need to step wide to recover and finish. Either to drive the opponent sideways or to lift them off the ground, depending on the situation. So when you perform the MMA walk, each step has two distinct sounds, both made by the same foot. You already know them. First, the light step to set your base, which happens at the same moment as the lead knee drives in. Then, the forceful stomp to drive forward. Listen for both. There is one caution with these variations though. It can make the movement choppy. That's why we always pair it with the classic wrestler's walk. End each set with a few fast, continuous reps to keep the rhythm and flow alive.
MMA forms your fight IQ for real fights.
In part 4, I'll show you how to learn this drill step by step using the accelerator method, because here we don't just demonstrate techniques, we show you how to own them.